Joe Bartolozzi is someone who needs no introduction. He's one of the biggest Twitch streamers of all time, averaging tens of thousands of views per live stream. But a lot has changed in the over half decade he's been streaming. I'm not just talking about the room he streams in, or the fact he can't eat red meat.
I have alpha gal. I got bit by a tick last summer in Virginia, and it gave me alpha gal. If I eat like a steak, like 6 hours from then, I'll go into like anaphylaxis.
But rather, his community and fans. Many obsessive fans and outright annoying chatters have made many people online ask, are his fans parasocial? In this video, I'm going to discuss the reasons why this may be and debate whether this is true or not. Let's get straight into it. First off, what does parasocial actually mean? Well, according to Google, it means a one-sided psychological bond where a person feels a false sense of intimacy and a friendship with someone they do not know. And in a world of online influencers, and especially lately Twitch streamers, this is growing more and more. But what makes Joe's situation so different to many of his peers, such as Jinxie?
Next demo today. What is this? Anime girl? Anime girl.
Or Sneak's Egg? Well, there's one reason, and it's quite obvious. And I'm not saying it's a bad reason, in fact, it is a very good reason. And it's the fact that Joe cares so deeply about his fan base. See, ever since Joe started, he's always cared so deeply about his own fan base. Back in his early days, if a chatter ever said they were struggling or possibly even suicidal, he'd stop everything to make sure they were okay.
You were chatting to your last streamer because you're ending it all. Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened? One of my subs just said he's in. So, dude, do you need help?
Joe has done so much through charity streams and even just general advice in stream that have arguably saved countless lives. But this has caused a parasocial relationship between those he's helped.
First 2 times I helped somebody with like issues, they just kept messaging me, and then they like got upset when I stopped messaging them. So it's more so of that issue.
Not always, I may add. Many people are very grateful and recognise the help Joe has given, but others have taken it a bit too far. I do think this is quite unfair to point to these people as being the source of Joe's parasocial fans. These are people who are clearly struggling, and while many are so ever grateful for the help he has provided, some do take it a bit far. But again, these are people who are clearly struggling. What else could be the source of this parasocial behaviour? What about the everyday fan? I'm going to give you 2 fans. This is Fan A. He watches Joe's streams from time to time whenever he's available. He subscribes to all his YouTube channels and watches them frequently. He may also follow Joe on social media and possibly even his streamer friends such as Jinxie and Sneaksack. He may even have a fan account or a clips account. This is your pretty typical, maybe slightly more hardcore fan. Then this is Fan B. They watch every stream and every YouTube upload with their eyes promptly open like a scene out of Clockwork Orange. They not only stalk Joe across social medias, but also all his real life non-streamer friends too. They have a social media account called Joe Bart #1 Fan 123 with a profile picture of them edited next to Joe Bart. They have a t-shirt from Etsy with Joe's face print on it, and they fall asleep looking into his eyes. This is not a normal fan. This is parasocial. And while this type of fan may not exist to this extreme, there may be people quite close to it. Now, staying on the topic of his everyday fans, we have to talk about things like his YouTube comments and Twitch chats. Now, Joe is not as niche as he was back in, say, 2020, 2021. He is in the top 100 streamers at the moment. So he's going to get big numbers, and he's going to get a lot of fans. And this will cause an influx of people who are only watching Joe Bart because he is famous, not because they enjoy his content.
Yes, yay, YouTube audience. YouTube audience. I'm letting you know, actually, editor, keep this in. We're just gonna turn chat off for a brief moment here because they're all spamming glory to Israel. So we're just gonna have chat off for a brief moment here.
Not because they give a damn about what he's streaming. So they may also be quite obnoxious spamming in chat and whatnot.
Are you going to complain the entire time? Type in chat!
Type in chats because I know you're hearing me. Type in chats and respond to what I was saying.
And this has caused a higher in quite angry, passionate fans, I suppose you could call them, who think they are doing it because they are insane or whatever. And I think it's a bit unfair to say that all Joe's fans are successful, because it's hard to know how many of them are actually his fans and how many are just clicking in because he is famous, because he's got high view count. You know, it's kind of hard to know, and I think, while yes, I'd say there definitely are some who are fans, I think it is quite unfair to do it. And I think a lot of people are getting bullied as well. Like, I've seen, I'm going to pull up an example in a moment, I've seen people be bullied in like his comment sections because they comment something. I'll show you an example right now. Okay, so here's an example from his latest video, as of recording this video. In the comments, one user said, who will bear their username, absolute unskippable notification. Again, nothing too terrible wrong with that. You will see it in like every comment section or whatever. And then someone felt the need to reply with it. This comment and the whole reply thread is the most brain-dead and unoriginal shit I've ever seen. I don't believe anyone beside another username Joe Bar is a real human behind the account. Look, yes, that original comment, it's repetitive. It is the same comment you'll see on basically any other Joe Bart video you will look at. But with that being said, I think it's extreme. I think, who really cares that much? Like, it's not nothing. There's nothing inherently wrong. It's nothing parasocial with just saying, "Oh, you're excited to see the newest video." Like, not every comment has to be some intellectual response. That being said, you know, by right, you know, you shouldn't really be repeating the same thing over. But like, you shouldn't basically bully someone because they just show excitement for a new video. I would almost say that goes the complete other end of the fucking ghost parasocial relationship, where they almost feel like they have to comment something, or else they won't feel like, you know, that they feel like they'll be the paranormal one for letting this happen. Which I just think, like, I get where they're coming from, but like, you don't have to bully someone and say that they're a bot because, God forbid, you know, they comment something like that. Up until maybe like the last month or so, I honestly would have said that Joe Bart's fan base aren't any more parasocial than any other fan base. Like, look at basically any other fan base, from Formula 1 to Minecraft. They all have really, like, extreme parasocial fans. It's just how life works. Some people will take things too far to the extreme, and it's not only Joe Bart's fan base that do that, I think. And I do think most people do know this, but I still don't understand why people, up until like last month ago, I'll get to that, were so adamant that his fan base are insufferable. And yes, while some can be annoying, I don't think they're as bad as many people or made him out to be. Until this. So, about a month ago, Joe and his longtime girlfriend Brooke, they broke up, and this shocked quite a lot of people. And a lot of people had a lot of opinions, I'll say, over something that by right they had absolutely zero right having. I think there are two. Basically, they broke up on mutual terms and are still friends to this day. And a lot of people think that that is stupid, and like, why? It makes no sense. Like, good for them, you know. They tend to think mutually. That's ideal, and because they're still friends, a lot of people, well, they're calling Joe a cuck. Which I think is just like, mate, these are people who probably never had a girlfriend and have probably never left their mother's basement. Like, these people are actually insufferable. And that's, I think, one side of it. In fact, I saw one guy, he made like 10 videos saying he was a cook. And then other people, they used it for clip farming, I suppose, or like just using breakup as like content, which again is just fucked up on so many other levels. But then there's I suppose another side of it, and where people were starting to harass Brooke, and I think this wasn't too adamant at the start because she had disabled comments after it was announced, probably anticipating this, but now she's turned the comments back on across her social medias. Now finally, I think we need to answer it. Are Joe Bart's fans really that parasocial, really that like annoying as people make it out of it? I don't think they are. I think while yes, some have taken it extreme, some have taken it really extreme, some are just outright irritating. I think they're no worse than quite literally any other fan base, quite literally any other celebrity out there. I think it's just because he is so big, he has such a platform that there are millions of people watching. I think it means more and more people are going to notice when there are bad apples in the bunch. I do think, like, if you are someone, or someone who is as bad as some of the factors I've shown in this video, I do think genuinely, I won't say get help because I think that's a bit extreme, but I do genuinely think look yourself in the mirror a small bit, because like it's a bit fair. With that being said, I think like don't be afraid to be a fan. Don't be afraid to leave comments just because you don't want to be labelled as irritating or parasocial. I think that is something that so many people are, I suppose, making the norm, that like, oh, you're a fan of someone a bit much, you're parasocial. I think that's not fair. But that being said, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, do make sure to leave me a subscribe. I'll see you all next time. And if you like these more kind of documentary styles, this is the second one I've made, do let me know in the comments. Goodbye.